It's a busy old day today in the old Boosted 2000 workshop. So yeah, we got the Fiesta on point. We need to get this ready. We got this Mazda MX-5 Mark 1 in, having some work done. Having an underside clean, underside paint, maybe a bit of welding and tidy up some scabs. But yeah, the video's not about that. The video is about that. Hit like, sub, enable notifications and watch what we get done today. So yeah, looking forward to getting on to the Mega RS Turbo restoration / build, whatever you want to call it.
Hours later.
Right then, that's the MX-5, so we can actually get on to the Fiesta. But let me show you this quickly. The guy's owned the car for 20 years. So he wanted me to put his fascia back in and stuff, a new one. And this was the old one. Look at the state of that. A wooden wedge in it. And a few packers, like you self-leveling floor, fit your PVC windows. So yeah. That's better. It's a luxury as well. And the switches work. Okay, so we are back. We are back on the channel. We are back onto the Fiesta RS Turbo. I do apologise, I do not have my mics. That's a quick little recap of the Mazda MX-5 that I also did a favour on. So yeah, don't want to bore you. So we are on to the Fiesta and lots of work to do on that car. Hopefully a full week of work on it. But just for everybody, that's a bit of motivation. So this is going up the garage wall, maybe behind the car, maybe on one of the shelves, just to give me that kind of drive to get it right. Because that's what it once looked like. And it's going to look 10 times better than that now. Maybe 20. Okay, so we've got friends living down here. They're not moving now. It's a whole piggy wig family down there. So yeah, I have to clean that out. I'm really happy with this, to be honest. So this is relatively clean. So it's rusty there. So we're going to cut probably down here. Cut to here, so we'll follow it on this line. Cut the arch out. It's gone there. So look, we're going to cut it maybe that section. We'll see. Okay, so you remember we built this section, the inner sill up. So one part we do have now is this. So this will run into here, okay? So let me show you there. So yeah, that will run here, give or take. So we clean this area up in here. We cut out whatever rot we need to, etc. now. Put some weld through primer in here. Weld through primer on this actual panel. And then the sill will go on the outside. I'll show you now quickly. As you can see then, that part will go in here. And be welded up to here. That part will get built later date when we've redone this. and that then will go on to here. But yeah, that's this section going to be boxed up nicely. Okay, it's real difficult to see, so we can run a seam down there nicely. We can weld it inside, etc. That will pinch to there. That will get ground back and welded across here. And then we have, where is it? This section of build up to go inside here. Okay, so that will go in there neatly. So that will be plugged and filled nicely. Infill that. Get this on nice and tight. Spot all the way across here. Tap this down. Get that in nicely in there. Spot all the way across here. We'll get that on camera today for you. So this sill will be on. I'm planning, like I said, of cutting that back area out. I do want to do this, but I don't know if I'm going to drop the subframe first. And I do want to do this. So I might have to drill these out, cut this whole section off, take a bonnet out, take us up to here, treat the behind, and go from there with this. But I do have this section. The main thing is at the minute is getting this sill on and making it look as factory as I can. Get that washed, get that out of here. Get the boot off soon because I've got a new boot to go on here. Get my equipment and my bumpers and stuff from the other unit. And, well, just get the welder out. Okay, let's leave that overnight with a weld-on primer. It's been done inside and out so that we can get that fitted tomorrow. So yeah, those little bits are left now to cure overnight, and then I can get straight on the welding tomorrow. So get home, get a quick wash, get some food, get a change, drop Hope to crash, and then be up there tomorrow. So yeah, this is going to be a banger of a video, so stay tuned. I'll bring my mics up for the next part because the audio probably isn't great. Thanks for everybody who's watching. It's doing really well. And all the new subscribers. And if you haven't seen the channel before and you've only just subscribed, go back because there's archives of really good content, and I promise you, you will enjoy. Right, no messing around today. We are back up here. Let's get this tripod up. Let's get this, whoop, getting old, he fell over. Or older. Let's get this gas bottle turned on. Let's get my goggles on, and my goggles, my mask on. And yeah, let's start sending it and start welding it. Yeah, right, so I'm really conscious, we've got the mics on now, that I'm gonna be boring you with just welding. But this is the process of the build. So yeah, let's ping a spot welding here quickly. Nice, that's gone on lovely. It's not a very good metal behind too well too. I'll show you that spot quickly though. Lovely, so yeah, we'll seam a little bit around here and tidy that up when we get the actual sill on. I've ground that back now, even though it was clean, just to double, make sure it's right. I'll get this section on now. Okay, so let's get this little part on. Start off with a few spots to hold it in place. That sounds better. Ooh, lovely. That didn't sound good, did it? Okay, so yeah, happy with that. I'll show you quickly. Remember, these are just little spots and when to hold this plate on. We'll tap this into place. I'm going to run a seam down there, take this sill off on the outside, then weld it on the inside, and then hopefully start spot welding this across. Right, so let's crack on with some of this before our next visitor turns up, because that's all that seems to happen. And I am behind of my plan. Right. Let's roll, shall we? Wish me luck. And always make sure you have an earphone. Again, distractions don't help. Lots of heat going through these, make sure they do hold. I'll be tapping these in as I go along now. Where's my hammer? Ah. F my life today, everybody. F my life today. Just having one of them days where I really want to get onto a car and get nothing but distractions, whether it be my phone, where it be people. Right, let's keep going, shall we? Okay, so I'm going to zoom along here quickly, probably time lapse a few now, and get the next part on. My eyes are flickering, I got a bit of arc eye. We have a sill on a car. Let me flip you around and show you where we are so far. This is only spotted on now, and well, it's the initial start of a process, but let me show you. I've drilled it all out, I've put some nice spots in. So to do the spot well, it's a nice big pool, pull it out a little bit, round and round, push it in and boom, out. And you get yourself a lovely spot. Penetrated both sides, let me show you. So far, this is spotted on. We have this section there to do a bit of work on, okay? Obviously needs grinding back, need the kind of thing. We've got some lovely big spots that need to be ground back. A nice bit in there, okay? Oh, still got the end to do, just hit my knee. We've run out of spots all the way across the bottom, all the way up here. So yeah. I think when you do a job like this, you just want to get on with it. And I've been looking forward to doing it for such a long time. I probably seem a bit of a a-hole because this is all I want to do and distractions massively put me off. I'm going to grind these back now with some new flappy discs, take the heads off, and then I'm going to weld neatly across here, do that front section down there, grind all them back, but yeah, we actually have a sill on the car. The time is like 11 o'clock, so I've been doing this for like 2.5 hours already. So you don't get much done for your time with this welding malarkey. But let's have a look again. the car actually has a sill on it. They clean the sill, it's been fabricated, and I feel a real sense of worth and satisfaction. When I start the coolers down, I'm going to treat myself to a boost. As a 90s, well, 83 I was born as an 80s kid, who doesn't love a boost? Also, I'll show you this, have a look at this. So I put an overlay up, my mate messaged me, he snapped this up, okay? So it's like a 3 inch fucking downpipe, stainless steel. So I welded this, I've ground it back for him. I didn't have to grind it back, so welds are neat. But because I didn't want to make sure it's all good, yeah, I've fixed that for him as a freebie, because he's a good mate of mine and he looks after me. So yeah, I put the overlay up of that, but yeah. So that's been done whilst that's cooling, get my boost on the go. Also a huge shout out to David Grimwood. He sent me a box of cutting discs. Massive thank you, because I'm going to be using them now. And also Cosworth Chronicles Mark, C111 PRS I think is, or C111RS, whatever. One of my muckers, he's got a channel, go and watch him. And it's, if you like music and like old hardcore, it's always on in the background. He's got like a 3-door and an S-Cross. He sent me a box of cutting discs too, so I'm absolutely stoked. So thank you to everyone. And like I said, when everyone's like supporting the channel, it's massive, it's amazing. So thank you. Okay, so next job. My knees are killing because I've kneeled on something and it just hurts. I think it's just down to feeling like I don't have enough time, and when I have time, I'm rushing, which isn't a good mix. And now I need to find my goggles. Okay, we have goggles. Not the ones that I was looking for, but these will have to do the trick. So, trash cutting disc, right. So when we do these, we also need to make sure we don't put too much heat through them, because again, what that will do is create warpage. So just a time lapse. Okay, so a little quick grind down some bits. Happy days. Right, next job. Let's start welding our section in. Yeah, that's working all right. Happy days, yeah. Body work and working in the body shop over the last, I don't know, 7 years maybe with Matthew. So yeah, I don't want to put too much heat through this now, okay? So the idea is do a few little bits, few little bits, few little bits, few little bits, and then work my way back. As long as I know now it's on straight, listen, you grind these out there anyway, do you know what I mean? So let's get this mask down. Right, I'm annoyed, I blew a little hole. But I'm going to tidy it up anyway, so it doesn't matter. I didn't really have to tell you, but I'm an honest guy. Okay, so trust the process. So that was a hole earlier. So that was a hole, that was a hole. We've infilled this with a section, ground that back, still needs grinding, but with something more accessible. We've infilled all this, that needs to be ground back a bit more and followed, and then we'll finish off grinding in here. But yeah, we've got the sill on. Doesn't look that neat now, to be honest. Hold on, let me get this. So yeah, that was neat across there. It doesn't look the best. I should jack a car up higher, it's more accessible. It is neat, but I've ground it back. There's no warpage. I don't want to put too much heat through here right now, but we have the sill on. I still have this front section to do, but I think what I might do now is take this wheel off, clean up in here, cut this section out and have a look in here at the moment and see what I'm facing, because I think I can cut to this line and well, if it's not too rotten behind. Okay, it's off. Jesus. Okay, so this has had like obviously needle thing on it and it's solid. I'll give it a few taps now, but this is just obviously a wheat pole and stuff. I think I'm going to cut this out, to the line, follow it around there, clean it up, see what it's like inside, and then look at that floor plan over there, and maybe just seam that section on. It's solid underneath. Let me double check, because it's been a while. Yeah, so that section is literally rock solid. Build it back up maybe around there, build into the floor. But let's have a look at it, shall we? Oh yeah, still needs to do the floor. I've got to be honest too, so that hole of cutting discs has massively helped because I'm literally taking them down to like that size, the inside of my thumb, and this one's hammered, and look at that. I normally would have used this too, just to like keep the equipment. I do need more flappy discs so badly because I'm hammering them now, but yeah. So fresh one on here. Okay, so we cut that section out and it was looking good because it's generally quite clean. But if you take a look up there, there is a hole right by there. So unfortunately, we're going to be we're going to be taking the lower arm off, all that kind of stuff, the shock assembly, and we're going to do this properly. Where I thought that we might get away with just re-welding all this section back in. Yes, you won't see that hole under there, but Jesus Christ, who leaves a hole in a car when they're restoring it? Certainly not me. So yeah, we'll scrap this section now. We're going to leave this. We're not going to do this today. Too much of a bigger job, in my opinion. I know it won't take long when I start chipping into it. I was excited because I thought, oh, I could spot onto there, seam it all the way across the bottom. But yeah, that's not going to work. If I did that, I'd have a horse outside and not a Focus RS, because I would be a cowboy. Okay then, so on to the back then. Right, so tiny pinhole, solid, mint, good. Yeah, good in there. Minus the creepy crawlies. So let's get this on. Clean this up, obviously. Clean out our surface rust, but we'll get rid of that. We'll retrim that. We're going to need an inner section up to here. So what you'll see I've done, I'm going to go from here. Okay, that's my plan. That's the line of the new part. This is the kit, okay? So it'd be lovely to do the welding below the kit. That ain't going to happen because that's rotten. And that ain't going to penetrate very well. So if I went there and worked in there, I'm still going to be fighting it. So I'd rather take it a bit higher. So I'm probably going to go around by here, okay? And then I'll follow this line around here probably. And then I'll come down to here. And then, I don't know, we'll wing it from there. No, I'm joking. I know exactly what I'm doing. You'll see it now in the videos. So yeah, I'm going to cut the outside skin here. And do a line around by here. Oh, it's hard, I don't know, because here, there's a swage. So we'll be on that line too. And heat those panels. I don't know. Just have to wait and see. Just for the record, everybody, I have lost my goggles again. Voila, got them. Right, let's go. Okay, so far better than I expected. So we need to rebuild a bit of the inner by here. Get this off now, and then hopefully we're going to lap this up in there. butt weld down there. I'll clean this up. And we've got the original holes as well to work to still. Excellent stuff. And there's more parts for the parts bin. I can hear my helpers coming. The helper has come. So just like that, that section's been cut off. They're not scrap, we'll get used to something. Maybe a bit of inner. So yeah, we're over here. This is now going to get cut out. I'm probably going to cut that up here, straight across here. Maybe follow that line, bring it back down here. So we'll make that intersection up. I can feel the rust inside. So we're going to cut that out. But yeah, this is really, really good. So, voila. Here's one I made earlier. So this will go up higher. This will be tapped in here. That will be butt welded in here. And then this will be lapped underneath here so that we get the weld on here tight so it doesn't go on top of it. And we ground that out. But yeah, we're just doing some measuring and some cutting and stuff now. But you get the idea. And then we will use another kit to drill the holes in. But that way we keep the original Ford part. And if you have a look somewhere, still original Ford stamps. So yeah, we're on to a winner with that. Yeah, so that's out. We'll clean the underseal the other side. Scrap pile. Yeah, we'll clean the underside up here. We'll get the plate made up in here. Actually, we're going to cut back to there because, well, I don't know. We'll see if we can treat that. But yeah, this is neat. So we're going to follow our curve around, get a bit of cardboard, spot it, beat it in kind of stuff, weld it nicely, make sure there's nothing flammable behind, and then we're going to look at welding in the new panel. Okay, so the hot glue gun is on. We have made this intersection. Got my gloves on now, so it's a bit tough to show you. But that will get spotted in there now, and then seams across. And then we have built up the inner sill section in readiness to put the outer sill, inner arch down. Get your words out. But yeah, you get the message, you get the idea, sorry. Okay, so hopefully, let's roll. Where's my lance? Whoops, oh, for Jesus Christ's sakes. And again, this is real raw editing. Okay, let's go. I'm my biggest enemy today. I am working in a messy space, which is really winding me up. I'm losing stuff no end. And I have now lost, there it is, my arch. Okay, right, so I could, and I should, and I have done in the past, use like magnets and clamps for this, but that's spot on and that will do. Let's get this up here. That is the world's worst welding. That will hold for now. Honestly, everybody, honestly. Right. Okay. Jesus Christ alive. I'm done today. I am done. Let's get out of the way because I end up melting my kit. Jesus Christ. If anyone wants to send me some new gloves, feel free. Finally, that's better. Right, let's tack that down, tap it down, and let's start welding it. So yeah, you can weld directly, okay, to this metal. But honestly, in my opinion, it's a pig. I'm not a fan of it, I don't like it, and I should have not been lazy and taken the paint off, but never mind. Sounds like my trousers. Okay, so we've quickly flown through that. We need to tap that up now a bit. Need to put a spot in there. I haven't done that bit yet. We've ground this back, we've ground this in readiness to get the arch on. So yeah, we're going to butt it down here, we're going to lap it underneath here, pull this out a little bit. It's horrible doing this because behind is under seal and it likes to burn. Okay, so really important, don't get carried away. So that's been sealed now. We're going to get some weld-through primer up here now, and then my plate, I'll explain as I'm going, but yeah, that'll be on very, very soon. We'll give our now 15 minutes to flash off, and then we'll get the arch on. Okay, so the first tacks are on. So yeah, I'm happy with that. I just need to push that, get a magnet on that now. But yeah, well happy with that. That's flowing lovely. Yeah, we are laughing. Okay, one thing I'm going to quickly do is test fit the kit back on this section. So that will go, that goes up there. Kit's a bit warped, look there. Yeah, that'll run there. That'll run there. And that runs perfectly to there. That's absolutely amazing. Voila! Happy with that? Right, let's get some welds across here. Let's pull this out of the magnet, tap that in, and time lapse a few. Oof, that was hot. Well done, Dan. Okay, so there's the outer, well, the arch on. I'll have the guts for this, to be honest. It's got a dent there, you can see it. Okay, so there's the arch on. Bit of a nightmare. It's got a dent there, and basically it pushed out, but with the heat, it has popped. So we need to get a dent puller on that, pull it out, stretch, shrink the metal kind of stuff. I had issues with my welder. So the metal's quite thin on the arch versus the actual car. Sorry, the car was thin versus the arch. So I'm fiddling with my settings. It's not bad, but it's not my best work. I'm not happy, but when it's done, it'll be done, I suppose. Just a little bit disappointing, to be honest. But yeah, these things happen. Okay, so yeah, you win some, you lose some. So look, the wing is more or less ready to go on after the A-pillar. The car has the sills on, absolutely splendid job may I add. These are all penetrated nice and behind. And then rear quarter, I'm gutted. I am gutted. So that'll go on, just needs a hole drill behind. I'm gutted because it's got a dent in it and heat has caused it to pop. But listen, I will use a dent puller on that and I will pull it back and it will be poker straight. I'll heat and shrink it. I'll sort that out. They'll all be smooth. This obviously lines up as it should. But yeah, maybe let's cut this A-pillar out now. FFS. Not to worry, you could be scared. I'm not. I'm used to it. Just look at it. So, aren't I lucky that I have this panel off a breaker car we had. So yeah, let's cut this out. Okay, so yeah, that's the section taken off. I've wire wheel behind there now. I'm gonna put some rust treatment behind there. I need to, yeah, you can see the rust treatment needs to go behind there. And then this all needs cleaning up and rust treating also. That's the next job. Okay, so I'm gonna get some crust on these. Oh yeah, I've got a scuttle panel. But yeah, look at this A-pillar. Yeah, I'm landed how fast coming along. A little bit gutted. The rear quarter isn't how I want it to look today, but it is a damn sight better than it was, and it will be great. So I know what I can do, and if you're unsure, keep watching, and I will show you. But yeah, that's the inner sail, the outer sail, the rear quarter fixed. We're looking at doing the A-pillar. So we are battering through this. I should write a wish list, so people keep asking do I want bits, and I feel really cheeky, so I don't like to say. But if anybody does want to help out now, I am after like drill bits, just like the bits I was using just now to clean up areas, that kind of stuff, flappy discs, sealer, as in tiger seal and stuff. That would really help the project along. Also, you'll have a double video this week. I'm going to a Cars and Coffee at No Limits at the bunker somewhere in Newport. I've been actually invited as a special guest, and I've been asked to film the event, and my vehicle will be on show in their premises, in their like paddocks thing, whatever, or their like yard, courtyard. So that's pretty cool. I went to a Cars and Coffee the other weekend. I'll do an overlap at the end, and I also went, when I was driving up the other day, I seen the rally cars going to the RAC rally. I'll put up a little overlay here. This was amazing. This was absolutely epic. I was gutted I didn't go. But yeah, look, on that note, hit like, sub, and enable notifications, and I'll see you in the next one.